have to do. How late are we? 5 minutes. 5 minutes late. I am such
nothing.
Fail.
That's
I failed, but for good reasons. I have failed for good reasons. I need to put something white on my screen because I have no lights on in here. There we go. That'll do.
I'm using Notepad as my light.
Yeah, like you and I've talked about, like a nice soft lighting. We'll just use the monitor panels for that.
Yep. Just open up Notepad, full screen it. That should be that. You know what? Oh, hey, there, the stream just started.
Yeah, Coconut Monkey's here, guys.
Hey, what do you guys think of my new lighting?
Everyone say hi to Coconut Monkey. He's about to walk into frame. There he is. He's over there playing on the computer, but not online. On next to my pile of Pascal graphics cards over there.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, technically you got your Titans installed before me because I have to wait for the water block them up and stuff. But.
I did. We're gonna do some testing though and move them around because I think we've come to the determination that slot 1 and slot 2 is the best configuration for frame rate. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really matter for compute, but for frame rate it does. So we're gonna go do a little moving around next week.
Yeah, I imagine on your motherboard it might matter more. Like most of the gaming motherboards or just like regular X99 motherboards, it can be in almost any config. Like it might go 8X Gen 3 on slot 1 and like 16X on slot 3, but 8X Gen 3 is just fine. It's just fine, even for Titans. We still have not utilized that bandwidth on PCIe. All right, I'm gonna roll that intro. Forgot to do that. God, amateur hour at best.
Roll it.
It's going.
TikTok 124 talking about the Enterprise blowing up. I don't think it was called the Enterprise. And YouTube's monetization policies making us all poor people.
Yeah. Guys, so regarding the donations, information in the description on how you can donate.
Yep.
Our guy who captures our donations is running late today. So
oh yeah, he's probably at PAX or something, I would guess.
He said he's only gonna be about 10 minutes late. So, but yeah, that whole PAX thing is launching today, right? Starts today, tonight, technically.
Tomorrow. I'm sure there's gonna be like some pre-parties tonight and stuff.
I was gonna say for like the media and stuff. Usually it's like the night before things start happening, like private keynotes and things. So, anyway, Nick, everyone wants to know what you're playing.
Armello.
What?
Armello. It's like a dice board game kind of deal.
Parmello?
Armello.
Armello.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take his word for it.
Never heard of it.
So we got a few things to talk about today, topic-wise, and then we'll just BS our way around a little bit. A little bit later in this stream, at some point, I'm going to be showing you guys a trailer teasing a new series on the channel.
I've seen it. It sucks. It sucks, guys.
It's terrible. The camera work is awful. God, I mean, the lighting is terrible. The audio is bad.
So when are you gonna go buy like a Red Epic or something? Because like seriously, you're approaching the point where you could actually.
I've already got the funds set aside for a Sony FS5. I just can't find one in stock. I'm gonna be dropping about $8,000 in camera and lens and stuff, but I just need one to be in stock somewhere. Anyway, I'm hanging out with Austin Evans tomorrow. I'll get to see his behind the scenes. We might be shooting a video of sorts. So, but anyway.
I have some feelers out for an FS5. We'll see how that goes. I'll let you know.
You're like, I'm going to call my people.
Going to call my people. Well, I call the people who call the people who called another people, so it might take a little while.
If you dropped that much on a camera right now, I would question your motives.
No. I would have to get the damn thing like it cost. There's no way I could afford that plus the lens plus the battery. I'd be poor.
I'm in one of those situations where like end of year tax meeting, they're like, you need to spend some monies. And I've kind of been a hoarder in the sense that I just have not been spending enough money on the business, if you will.
Yeah, if you don't spend enough money on the business, you end up hanging out in that higher tax bracket and you get super screwed. So it's better to be in the lower tax bracket and have a bunch of stuff to run your channel.
To be fair, it's been like 2.5 years, almost 3 years since I bought a camera. My 70D I bought in 2013, end of 2013.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it was beginning of 2014. It doesn't matter.
You know what?
It was
I wasn't even thinking about that. I sold all my Canon gear, my telephoto lens, my 5D Mark III, my 5D Mark II, and all of it together, I got about $4,600. So I've got that just like stuffed away in the safe. I could go use that to buy some new new equipment.
How the hell do you afford an 8K camera with a business?
Have you seen Jay's channel lately? He's killing it. Man.
I think people forget this is a business once you reach a certain point.
Yeah, no. Have you seen Jay's Social Blade? He makes $1.2 million a year.
I make anywhere between $8 and $1.8 million.
Yeah, that's what I was mocking. Today I looked at it and it's like Jerry makes between $575 a month and like 20 grand, and I was like,
Really?
Yeah. It's like,
What
I
of
mean,
it?
I guess that's kind of accurate. I'm in between those two vastly different numbers.
Oh god. See, here's the problem. I mentioned getting a camera, and everyone's like, "No, don't get this camera. Get that camera." Blah 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 blah. I am camera fanboy.
No, I saw that FS5. That FS5's tits, dude. That
So
thing
the
is awesome.
FS5 is specifically a cinematography camera, whereas like yes, the A7S2 is an amazing camera as well for low light, but it's still a DSLR. And I
Yeah.
want that full Super 35 sensor, and I want the functionality that the built-in multiple stop ND filters and things like
That's
that.
what I want.
Yes.
The filter built in. Oh my god, that
And a
would be
variable ND filter, so it's not
Yeah.
like quarter stop, eighth stop. It's like variable. It's a dial. You tune it literally.
and how small it is, right? The
Mhm.
the form factor of it. I mean, not it'd look a little funny vlogging with that, but it's not out of the question like some of the bigger cameras.
Yeah, it's not a vlog camera by any means. I mean, it makes a DSLR look really small, but it is, again, a no compromise. I mean, they've got batteries for that thing that would last all day. You know, I mean,
but you know what I mean? It's not a shoulder camera. It's not like these huge cinema shoulder rigs that you see. Like you could literally hold that in one hand.
you can, but you wouldn't want to. It still gets kind of weighty once you have the lens and everything on it. But it's got right. So right on the bottom of the camera, it's got a shoulder pad, so you can shoulder it, and then it's got this arm that attaches to it, so you can have all the controls on one hand and one hand on the lens. So you can. It's expandable. It's flexible. Guys, I'm not taking any opinions from the audience on cameras. Okay, that's all me. It's my job to get the right equipment and make you guys enjoy the content. Don't worry about what camera I use. Trust me, I'll make the right decisions there. So,
No, and I've learned my lesson. Just buy whatever Jay buys. That's the trick.
Then you should get the FS7, sir. You've got $8,000 for a body laying around, right?
Actually, no, I don't. Actually, I should start ignoring you because I think it was you that told me to get the FDR AX33, and I've already like broken the thing like 5 times.
Really, dude? I use mine all the time, and I never have an issue with it.
I broke the
Nick,
the memory slot door off.
Dude, it's been on
Battery
camera.
doesn't
Nick has
stand.
seen me drop it multiple times, and it survives.
Dude, I even got the lens stuck. You know the image stabilized lens inside.
Mhm.
I got it stuck the other day where it wouldn't move. The camera just boots up and it just gives you some horrendous error on the screen. So I reached in and tried to move it around and I couldn't. It was like stuck, and then I like moved it really hard and it popped free, and then it just started working again. I was like, how the hell did that happen?
Well, you're pretty hard on your stuff. Although, can you turn your mic down a little bit so I don't have to do it on my end? Everyone's saying you're hot. You're hot. You're so hot, Jerry. You're so hot.
how's
Sexy.
Is that better, guys?
It sounds the same on my end.
It does.
Doesn't
Okay.
it never sounds like your amp does anything. You're always like, okay, how's that? And it's like no different.
Starting to think the amp doesn't like it should.
Oops,
Is that
I
any
gotta mute
different?
my phone. It sounds exactly
Anything?
the same, sir.
Saying the same.
Exactly the same.
Okay, so apparently my output and gain knobs do not do anything on my amp. So let me turn it down in Windows.
Yeah, go and do that. Because I don't want to have to turn down the master volume, because then the trailer I'm going to play will be low. So.
No worries, I got you. Here, I'm gonna just bring her down like
All
90.
right, I'm going to grab this
Is that better?
donation. Huh?
Skype just like turned it back up.
It sounds exactly the same, yeah. Okay, let me get this donation real quick before, because Hobbs isn't here to grab it for us. So
Okay.
he says, Daft Biker says, ever drooled over the Fantex Evolve Glass? Find my build by searching Warsprite 6700K on Part Picker. Love you guys. Exclude my peasant graphics card. You know, there's a lot of cases now that are implementing things like tempered glass, and I think they look. You know who's a real culprit for making me literally wet my pants when it comes to case sexiness? Honestly,
Who?
Sorry, Josh. No, it's not Fractal Design. It's Inwin. Inwin literally hit.
Huh?
Now your mic is really low. Holy shit.
Oh God, hold on.
No, you leave it. I'm turning it back up on my end here.
All right,
All right, stay there. Don't.
better.
touch
I'm
me.
not moving.
Don't
I'm
touch
not
anything.
moving.
It just went back up loud again. All right, forget it.
What?
I think it's time you actually invest in some better audio equipment, sir.
Dude, I'm looking at my my audio histogram's fine. Like it hasn't changed. Oh wait.
You literally go off the meter on my end.
Oh wait, I had automatic gain control enabled. Is that better?
Oh my god.
How's that? Is that better?
I don't know. Time
Sorry,
will
I
tell.
reinstalled my whole computer the other day. I forgot to go in and change the settings. Sue me.
Time will tell. All right. No. So Inwin, when it first started, was kind of like that. It's a Chinese brand, blah blah blah, right? Whatever, like Rosewell, right? But
Yeah.
Inwin has just really found its. They've really just found their way in terms of making amazing cases that look absolutely phenomenal. They're like the modern Lee and Lee, as far as I'm concerned. Jerry has no idea what I'm talking about. He doesn't know cases. He doesn't
No,
know.
Lee and Lee. I know Lee and Lee. They're very expensive aluminum cases that I could never buy as a kid because I was poor.
Lee and Lee was like the first brand that was like, let's do aluminum. Let's not do stamped steel like everyone.
No, and they were
else.
the only like case manufacturer when I was growing up, and they've been around that long. They're the only case manufacturer that made the damn cases that didn't cut you when you like ran your finger along any edge.
Everyone's like, Jay's trolling. Sound is fine. You know why he sounds fine on your end? Because as he was getting really loud, I was pulling him down. And then when he got quiet, I was pushing him up. So I was actually controlling him on this end. That's why he sounds great.
You say you're pushing me up and pulling me down?
I was pushing you up and pulling you down. Well, we
Birdie,
no sexual innuendos.
Well, I forgot.
Oh,
we almost got monetized right there.
Jeez, let's go ahead and talk about the... Let's do this out of order here. We can talk about the SpaceX explosion. It's still exploding, I think. So we can...
It's gonna burn for a while, guys.
Yeah. So
it was like a couple $1 billion in fuel.
Every single year, have you noticed how there's like some uproar about YouTube?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
every single year, more like every 3 months, it seems like something happens.
So last year, everyone flipped out over YouTube Red, right? This is gonna kill the YouTube community. This is gonna kill all the independents, right?
And then it absolutely didn't.
It didn't touch shit. And in fact, we see a whole new revenue stream. The regular revenue stream didn't change, and now we have an extra one. If anything, I felt like I made more money with YouTube Red.
Keep in mind, though, that's only some people, though. Like, just like this we're about to talk about. Some people are completely unaffected. Other people are just fucked.
I don't think we're about to...
Oh, we're demonetized now.
Damn it.
Oh.
Damn it. Okay, so what Jerry's talking about here is the new YouTube monetization policy. See, there's a YouTube community standard of things that are considered acceptable with YouTube. And I say that loosely because we've all seen some pretty weird things that have been perfectly acceptable to be YouTube friendly, right? All right, let me grab this comment before it gets missed. Awesome show as always. Where is the best place to get custom cables other than Ice Mods and Lutro Customs? Thanks. There's Mod 1 now, which that's actually Kevin Keating's company. He was the son of the owner of Case Labs, so you can check him out. He's also on Facebook. There's Mod
really
Zoo.
Nice guy.
There's Mod Zoo. There is Bill Owen, I think, has some sources. So there's lots of places you can actually find some stuff there. A lot of the companies now, like PC or performance-pcs.com, has cable sleeving services. So a lot of the companies now that sell custom parts are getting into the whole sleeving thing. Gaming Turkey says, have you guys seen the new Huawei Honor Note 8 6-point screen? My Samsung Note 4 look like iPhone 4. I don't follow consumer tech as much as I probably should. In fact, I'm wanting to start over time kind of incorporating some more consumer tech into my channel. But no, I don't follow phones that much. So
if they can, the only phone that I'm really following right now that I'm very interested in, I actually want to review, finally a cell phone I want to review, is the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Just the Note, not the Active, not the Edge, just the Note. Because I mean, you look at it, it's an absolute powerhouse. Now they just got to keep them from exploding. Like apparently they're like the batteries are catching fire and exploding. But once they get that under wraps, that's the one I want to look at. That might be the iPhone killer finally.
Thank you everyone complimenting the beard. I've never been able to grow one, so I'm trying to see how this goes, and one day it might be gone. But as the beard grew, the like buttons seem to go up. It's weird. It's like epic mealtime, right?
You know what the problem is when you don't have a beard? Like, you're an asshole, and people don't expect a clean-shaven guy to be an asshole. But now that you got the beard, it kind of makes sense. Like, I think it's a package.
It's just like a burly thing. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, and thank you, everyone.
Look a little scruffy, so I'm like, this guy looks like a guy that's going to treat me like an ass, you know? So, it works.
Thank you, everybody, for congratulating me on 700,000. Okay, so what we're talking about here.
Hey, it's not a competition, Jay. It's not a competition. That's not,
Race you to a million. All right, so... So, YouTube claims it hasn't changed any policies regarding monetization. They're only claiming...
technically they didn't.
Yeah, they're claiming now that they're just better communicating the policy. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to read you the policy real quick. And the problem is I think you'll realize by the time I'm done reading this that you can see that this is very, very loose and vague, where anything could fall into this category. Like almost any video on the internet could fall into this category.
Pick the most family-friendly channel that you can think of on the entire internet. Like, just picture it in your head and see if you can apply what. Yeah, there you go. Try to apply this to them.
All right. So, sexually suggestive content. I'm screwed, right?
Well, every video I've ever done is an innuendo.
Okay, including partial nudity and sexual humor. So obviously I didn't do the partial nudity, but sexual humor, right? Okay. How do you determine?
Demonetized.
Oh fuck! Damn it! I just. You did that. I said fuck. Okay, we're getting to this here. All right. Violence, including display of serious injury and events related to violent extremism. So,
Me tripping and busting myself up.
all right. So Vsauce is out, right? Yep. Vice News is out. Okay.
Every news outlet, every single, what is
CNN.
it? Young Turks. Young Turks are gone.
Oh, Young Turks, yeah.
Yeah.
Inappropriate language, that's the part, or including harassment, profanity, and vulgar language. So that's why we keep fucking screwing ourselves. God damn it. See?
So bye-bye Leafy is here. Bye-bye Keemstar.
Right? Promotion of drugs and regulated substances, including selling, use, and abuse of such items. You have to question anyone's like, hey, you want to buy drugs? Hit the like button. I don't know about that one. Right? I mean, did you really need to put that in there? Okay. Okay.
I mean, I guess if you're like a channel like selling like, I don't know, like weed vapors or something, maybe.
All right. So how tight are they going to be? Right? Is it going to be like the FCC on TV or or like in the movies where you can only get 2 F-bombs and then it has to be rated R? Right. Okay. So that's the vulgar language part.
Yep.
But now here's the part that has everyone really up in arms. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Controversial or sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, and tragedies, even if graphic imagery is not shown. You just talked about opinions there.
Yeah.
Controversial. Anything that's controversy is opinion-based. So how do
that's
you
the problem
enforce that?
That one's super broad. Like you said, that one's incredibly broad, right? Because according to that rule, if you wanted to enforce it to the nth degree, if I just like made a passing statement about like a tidal wave that just happened or a storm that might have flooded an area or something,
The fact that you even acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Right, so Philip DeFranco has been kind of spearheading this whole like, you know, YouTube is really making a mistake on some of these here, specifically that last one because that affects him directly. YouTube responded to him was basically like, we didn't change anything and we're not being subjective on this, like because he was like, how do you determine who gets hit by this, right? Because there's channels that fly under the radar all the time, but then there's channels that just seem to randomly get picked and demonetized for this. Now, Philip DeFranco, YouTube responded, like the @YouTube Twitter account, which never responds to anybody, responded to him and was like, we didn't actually change the policy, we just made it more vocal. And he responded with a YouTube video, a still image from a YouTube video from CNN on YouTube that was monetized, and shows a picture of a little Syrian boy covered in dirt and blood because he just survived a bombing, and it's monetized. So that basically was like a big F you to YouTube's face, like BS that you say you're not being selective. So how is it that someone like Philip DeFranco, which is like almost broadly 12 videos unmonetized overnight, and this is not like, oh, it's just one wave and it's gone. It's always going. So he's going to continue to get hit with things because of things like title and thumbnail. And does that mean it's now going to be listening to like Shazam for voice recognition, so it's going to listen for words like Syria and bomb and, you know, Afghanistan war, right? Trump, Clinton, because it talks about politics too. It's not just the shooting in Munich or whatever. You know,
they already have a system in place to do that. The Content ID match system can already match up detection of music and sounds inside your thing. So what's stopping them from just adding all those banned words to the detection algorithm, and then we're all screwed. And the problem is they don't have the manpower to enforce this across such a big platform as YouTube. So they're going to have an automated platform go hit everything broadly, which is what's happening right now and we're seeing. And then they're just expecting everybody else just to appeal the shit out of it. And then it's a slow process to get it appealed.
Haha, I'm so done with Jay's accent. I didn't do an accent, did I?
I didn't recognize an accent.
Now, every now and then I'll be like, you know what, some gun, we're going to do this thing. And you're not going to talk back, or I'm just going to give you a backhand across your lip.
I don't get it. That's how he always talks to me.
Update. Demonetization of video of... I'm not getting an email from YouTube. Your video has been unmonetized. I'll look at it later. I think I might have just got hit with an unmonetized.
Did you really? Like during the show?
Yeah, one of the YouTube like notifications came in of like urgent, not urgent, but you know, you get one like you've got a copyright claim, right? Because of music or whatever. Yeah, one of those just came in, literally. Yeah. So anyway, how do you enforce that, right? It really... See, YouTube is like, we're not censoring anything, but the fact that you won't let... Okay, they're not saying you can't talk about this stuff, guys, but what they're saying is that it will disqualify you from AdSense or AdWords playing ads on those videos, which is the bulk of most people's income. Now, this is one of the... Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's the one point I do disagree with Philip DeFranco on, is I do not believe that this is censorship. Like the core of the word censorship. I believe it's encouraging censorship at a self level if you need to make money. but they're not stopping you. You can still upload literally just about anything you want as long as it doesn't violate the other guidelines. This is just for monetized content. That's it.
They're making fun of the way I say DeFranco.
Oh, DeFranco? Yeah, I've never heard of DeFranco. DeFranco sounds kind of, I don't know, makes him sound exotic. No, here's mine. Did you get a video hit yet, Jay? Like for real?
Let me go look. Hold on.
Because I got an email, let's see, 3 days ago.
Never mind. Never mind. It was the email congratulating me that the video I put up to show you was online.
Oh, there you go. So 5 days. So guys, I've been hit on one video so far, and it was the trolling YouTube trolls nerdgasm style, which is hilarious because it was an unlisted video. Huh. That was that one where I basically was just like cyberbullying the cyberbullies.
What's funny about that though is unlisted videos already can't be monetized.
I know, so I don't get why the hell they said this, because they said I got the email and I was like, oh crap, and I went and looked at it and it wasn't even listed. It was unlisted. So I was like, okay.
Which is weird though, because technically unlisted videos aren't supposed to be monetized, but I believe they are actually.
Yeah, because I think what happens is you start them as public, you monetize them, then unlist them, and that monetization still stays intact.
I see.
So anyways, they took my monetization off a video that I never made any money off of anyways, so it wasn't a big deal. But still, this is where I first saw this happen about 5 days ago, and then I just saw a whole flood on Twitter of these because I'd never seen this previously, right? This is a brand new email I've never seen from YouTube before.
Now they're making fun of the words and the way I pronounce them. He says McAfee weird too. You mean McAfee? That McAfee virus there? Yeah.
I've heard that pronounced both ways.
Oh, like, Juice Simpson. Oh, Juice
so here, if you guys want to know what it actually says, it says, "Hi, Barnacles Nerdgasm. Thank you for submitting your videos for monetization." Keep in mind this video was submitted like 3-4 years ago.
Right.
We didn't approve your videos for monetization because the content in your video or the video details, mind you, it's also talking about the text in the video details, may not be advertiser friendly.
May not be. It isn't, but it may not.
May not be. It says if you believe that the content in your video is advertiser friendly, you can request an additional review below for the video Trolling YouTube Trolls Nerdgasm Style.
I remember that video.
And it says, please, I know, I love that video. Please note that review times may vary. They're basically saying they don't have the manpower to enforce all these. And YouTube reserves the right to make the final decision. So that's to be expected. But still, the fact that the burden's put on you to basically prove innocence when they have an automated system just knocking you over is kind of counterproductive to their rules that they already have in place about false copyright strikes. What
I started to say, that was actually... No, I'm not saying you're interrupting me in any way. Okay. It's just we followed a train of thought and I got on the wrong track. But that's when I talked about my, I quit my job a year ago video, and I said my ultimate goal was to be completely independent of YouTube's AdSense if things ever happened. Yeah. That's why you see the integrations that I put in that I control, because I would be too afraid of having every egg in my basket come from YouTube's AdSense and monetization platform.
No, I agree.
They do this stuff all the time.
No, and I've actually taken steps over the last couple of weeks to do some things there. I actually hired a different brand manager now, somebody who I actually know and trust. So you'll see brand integrations in my video in the future, just like you do, because that's the only way to secure a steady income.
I'm still seeing more people in the chat saying this sounds like censorship. Guys, they're not taking the videos down. That would be censorship. They are just saying they are not going to consider them advertiser friendly, which means that there will be no advertising on those videos.
The truth is, okay, so let's look at the extreme here. So let's give a comparison. It'd be like HBO or Showtime or Cinemax. You notice how those channels don't have any advertisements on them? It's because they run violent videos, they have nudity, they have all those things. It's not that they couldn't have advertisements. They could find advertisers that were friendly with that, but they're not publicly broadcasted networks. YouTube is just going the same direction. I'm sure that advertisers were getting really pissed that their ads for Christian Mingle and stuff were like on hateful channels.
FarmersOnly.com.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the problem is advertisers were starting to feel like their ad revenue wasn't being spent properly because they were seeing these ads showing up on videos that were horrible, like bad videos. And I'm not saying all videos are bad. Like if you use curse words or you're talking about a topic like rape or cyberbullying or something like that, we've just got flagged again. If you talk about those things from the context of helping people or to expose something that's wrong, then sure, that's fine. But I think the biggest problem was you just saw an uptick in all the drama channels that were really, really pushing and using their platform basically to attack other people and to gain a huge audience because people love drama. It's in human nature. Everybody wants the dirt on somebody. And it just got so out of control that basically all the advertiser dollars were being spent on all of these up-and-coming drama channels. And I think YouTube was like, oh, crap. Yeah. We're going to be screwed if our advertisers come in and, every single ad that they're expecting to be on a good video is basically just going to these huge troll channels.
So I've been kind of reading the comments as they go through, and there's some people are citing the advertisers as being the ones to push YouTube to do this.
That would be my suspicion.
Yeah, I can see that, because remember, guys, any video they unmonetize, ones that gets millions of views, right? YouTube loses money too, because YouTube doesn't play that ad. They don't get their 40% cut.
Yeah.
So it's shooting their own foot as well on a platform that they already claim doesn't make money. By the way, YouTube still claims they don't make money.
Yeah, but here and that's exactly it. Is I think they're trying to clean house and they're trying to make the platform profitable. YouTube Red, I don't think made them the profitable powerhouse they wanted to be, and this is a next step in that direction.
These policies feel like they were written by a lawyer to broadly just cover every ass they possibly could, giving them the power to look the other way, but also to tighten that noose if they want to.
Yeah. Well, the thing you have to realize too is that the way the advertisement works on YouTube is it's not everybody gets an ad. Every video you click on, you don't just automatically get a pre-rolled ad, even if it's monetized. Sometimes you click on it. Yeah, because the way that YouTube works is they can only serve out so many ads based on the budgets of the advertisers. Now, here's where the problem occurs: is that if the top 10 most popular channels on YouTube are all violators of the policy, then they're the first ones in the queue to run those ads, which means the ads that these companies are paying for are being run tens of thousands of times on channels that are violating, YouTube's advertisement policies, which they've never enforced until now. But I think it's just my speculation here is that just so many channels, because if you look at it, I mean, there are so many popular cyberbullying and drama channels now. That's like the new big thing on YouTube. It used to be video game trolling back in the day. Now the big thing that's really hot that all the channels are popping up and doing and growing rapidly is attacking other YouTubers and exposed and creating drama in the community and trying to hurt other content creators. And they're rising to the top, which, okay, that's what people want to watch. That's fine.
People like TMZ and tabloids.
They like TMZ. They like it's no different, but it's just the internet version. But the problem is they rise up. The advertisers are starting to notice that their ads that they're running for their business are showing up. And I bet you people watching the videos are complaining too, because Jay, as well as I do, that everybody on the internet complains about everything all the time. It's just we have people that send us detailed 3-page letters about how we're a horrible influence on their child and we should die from cancer. I mean, it's like it's so I understand that aspect of it, but just think about this. If
Someone told me they'd rather take a hot poker to the eye than watch another one of my video card reviews.
I
perfectly empathize with that, though.
but what I'm getting at ultimately is the advertisers are probably getting emails on the side outside of the YouTube system, like the big advertisers like Allstate and stuff like that are like, why do you support this channel that I just watched where the entire video was just this toxic badgering and attacking of other people?
Yeah.
See, that's where the problem, I think, is stemming from, is that the advertisers now are basically threatening YouTube to better enforce things because they're getting emails from people that are like, oh, I saw a Colgate commercial on the beginning of a video and the entire video was titled, how to kill your friend prank. And, some dude gets hit by a car and it ends with like an IED blowing somebody up. I mean, that's the problem.
What's kind of happened here is you've gotten this, like you said, this influx of people who rose to the top very quickly.
Yes.
That sort of got to skate the system, make a ton of money, and it brought attention to some of the loopholes and some of the issues inside of the platform. So I'm kind of in the middle on this. I mean, I think guys like me could loosely maybe be infringing on some of that stuff, right? Some of the like ladies, and that's what she said, right? It does. I never for instance, Paul and Kyle, right? Kyle had a dildo stuck to his forehead, right? That's the kind of thing that definitely I could see being in violation, and the video was taken down. But it's like me saying the F-bomb, right? Okay, how many times do I get to say it? Once? Am I out because I said it once? That sort of thing.
I wish the rules were more clear, because like you said, I mean, is there a number of times can we say it? Can we say it at all? Because obviously,
you've got a guy like me that might say it once or twice in a video at the most, right? Ever. I might not even say it in 3 or 4 videos, and I might say it 3 times in the next video. But then you've got guys like a good friend of ours, Boogie2988, who's got his Francis character, which is like F this, F that, every other word, because he's a rage. That's the character. So it essentially, because of the vulgar and aggressive policy in there, kills Francis.
Yeah. Well, the big problem that I see with this, as far as an automated enforced mechanism, is what about all the channels where the person is definitely being edgy, but they're doing it on purpose for a greater good. Let me give you an example. Like somebody who's talking about suicide, right? When you make a video about suicide, what do? You cite other instances of people that didn't get help, that something happened, and to kind of illustrate the point. But the end message is don't commit suicide.
Yeah.
How do you make that video in a way that YouTube isn't going to pull advertisement revenue from it? And that's a video where I honestly believe most advertisers would want to be on that video because it's a very real video with a very good message.
You know what, though? I think that there is an insane amount of double standard happening here, though.
Yes.
Because a lot of those same advertisers advertise on mainstream TV in front of violent TV shows and touchy documentaries. So
yeah, you know what I think we're going to find out is going to happen is we're going to see a huge wave. This is my prediction. This is Jerry's prediction.
Take notes, guys.
You're going to have get ready, guys, because I'm telling you the future right now. I think we're going to see this hit hard and heavy, just like it has right now. You're going to see tons of very top 10 YouTubers bitching about this, like Philip and stuff. They're going to come out. It's going to gain such a huge amount of support, just like it did. Remember when all the channels were getting shut down for fair use? Same thing. Everybody's going to basically bitch about this to the nth degree, and they should. And YouTube is basically going to have to respond by backing off the automated mechanism and being a little bit more strict about how they enforce this.
I don't know. Nobody backed off the copyright spider bot that's still constantly flagging people for stupid stuff.
That's true. I just had a friend have his channel get taken down for a week before they finally brought it back up and realized that he was being bought.
Yeah, there was no change there. So
okay, fair enough. I don't think it might not institute change, but I just think that the automated mechanism, some hotshot developer at YouTube, or I should say team, it probably wasn't one guy, developed the algorithm to go and track these things down and flag them.
Okay,
and after YouTube realizes that 90% of the videos aren't monetized anymore.
I want to put something into perspective here for a question that was asked, because I think it's a fair point. Sean Smith in chat says, what kind of money are you talking? What do these YouTubers make? Let me put this in perspective. I'm not going to talk numbers specifically. But however, my channel grew to a point to where I was able to leave my job in IT. And my wife was able to quit her full-time job that she was at for 9 years and had some pretty good tenure and a very good income. So
and rented a drug lord mansion.
Okay, and we're small. We're small compared to these channels we're talking about. Okay, 700,000 subscribers sounds like a lot, but come on. I mean, it seems like most people can get 100,000 this day and age if they just continuously stick with it, right? Yes. There's some channels that have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million subs, and it's like, really? People watch this? Look at Disney Toy Collector, right? Millions and millions of views every single video. Because the kids watch and eat that stuff.
I won't tell you which one, but I've had a conversation with a YouTuber before that made over $100,000 a month in just ad revenue.
Easy.
So it's completely possible.
Well, put it in perspective. That's 1.2 million a year pre-tax, right? Post or before tax. Yep. And when PewDiePie, when he was less than half the size he is now, made 7 million in 1 year, and that went public. He had to address it because people were like, "You make way too much money for making stupid YouTube videos," and he's like, That's a really poor mentality to have. No, you should never limit someone's potential of earning money. And so if he can make 7 million, I mean, there's really sky's the limit with this. So the point is, you're talking about enough money here that, right? If suddenly my videos couldn't be monetized, that changes lives. Period.
Oh yeah, and like Billy D, he should be pissed because if you look at just his stats as a channel, I mean, he's losing more revenue than either in probably a month than Jay and I make in a year. Yeah. Just from those the percentage of his videos being demonetized. And if they demonetized all of them, let's say every one of his videos just instantly got demonetized, the guy, I mean, he would have to do so much to overcome that. I know in his video he makes light of it and he's like, "Oh, I make money through shirt sales and merch sales and everything," and he does, but it'll hurt. That's going to be a painful blow. Yeah. Yeah. You make too much #Bernie 2016. No, I get that a lot, and it's relative, right? It's like one person says, "Oh, you make more than I ever did in my entire life, so you shouldn't need to make any more than that." And it's like different people have different life situations, different people have different goals, people have different games, people have different plans. Absolutely. All that plays into it, and so there is no one amount of money fits all. Yeah, we'd all like to be billionaires and fly around in Lear jets and have demolition derbies with aircraft carriers. That would be my dream, but. Okay, so, I mean, that's that. I read the policies here. Time will tell on this. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be more mindful of
some of the humor and some of the language. So if it starts to seem a little bit more PG, I apologize. I can still find a way to be goofy. But yeah,
switch the F-bomb with frack.
frack
And then and then you shat.
dag nabbit.
Yeah, just dag nabbit. That's all we got to do. We got to come up with a lexicon for replacing all of the bad words.
Yeah. All right, guys, here's what I want to do right now. I want to tease a new video series coming up on the channel. It's probably going to be a once a month at the most, but this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, actually.
I want to be in an episode too. I just want to qualify that. I want to be in an
Well,
episode.
the thing is, I mean, this would require some pretty big budget if it was going to be a like something I travel out of state for. I can start
I'll come to you.
locally. I can start locally here. Yeah, I'm not gonna be bringing people to my house. This one took place in my house, but I had this idea of a show called PC Rescue, where people can like write in and be like, "Hey Jay, I've got this and this is my problem and I need help. I am stuck," and then I literally take myself and my camera equipment and everything and do a documentary style of me helping you, kind of like bar rescue. Right? So he goes to the bar and he looks at what they're doing wrong and then he trains them and rehabilitates them, Cesar Millan style, right? And gets them up and running and they're like happy kumbaya. Hey, my work here is done. And if you've got a PC that needs help, right? That whole sort of thing. So I want to do this. And I don't know exactly yet how it's going to work considering I'm still just a one-man crew here. I've got Coconut Monkey that helped during the summer, but he's going back to school. And it took 3 people to get today's job done. And I'm talking about, like, I took a picture. I'll post it. Of what like the equipment looked like to get this done. It's not easy, but I made a trailer, and it's I'm gonna play that for you guys now, so you guys can get an idea of what this show is gonna sort of be like. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that right now.
My name's Chris, and I'm the owner of Red Mist. I just received Red Mist Part 2. It kind of inspired me to finally start to try this on my own. I have a friend, Lindsay, and she has a build that also was put together by Jay. It was the AMD water cooling build. She needs an upgrade. She wanted to upgrade it to an Intel platform. So I decided this time I want to do it. And I might have run into some problems.
So yeah, I like how you were typing during the show, by the way, or during the trailer.
Hey, learn to mute, bro. Learn to mute.
I can't mute just you.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't. You're playing over the main audio source.
Oh, you're just being lazy and capturing the whole system source. You're not being particular.
Right.
Oh, stop being lazy then.
So in episode 1 here, what basically happened was I had done Red Mist version 1 for him, and then I did his Friends build, which is the AMD hardline build, and then I did Red Mist version 2, and he basically was like, "Man, I've been watching you do these videos. This looks easy." And he goes to try it himself, and he actually went through 12 3-foot sticks of PETG and got 2 good bends out of it. So he was just mad and frustrated, and I was just finally like, okay, you know what? Bring the system over. This gives me an idea to be able to do a series I've been wanting to do, and this is kind of like a pilot, sort of like a proof of concept. We'll see how well it's received, and we'll go from there. But I thought it would be super cool, like if I went and helped people doing this. Like I thought that'd be cool. It's just something I've always kind of wanted to do for a long time. So we'll see how it goes. But there's plenty of opportunity though for even friends and stuff that wouldn't have to deal with the awkwardness of like, oh wow, this guy really doesn't like being on camera kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think what's going to end up happening is all your family members are going to call for tech support and you'll be like, "I'll be right over with the camera equipment." And they're like, "What?"
Someone's all so like Bitwit. Yeah, Kyle has something similar to that. And I saw that he did that a couple weeks back, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" But you know what? I'm still going to do it anyway. Oh, I just got demonetized. I'm still going to do it anyway because
they're going to start
you know
taking money away from us at this point.
Here's why I'm going to start paying YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's why. I'm just going to do it anyway, even though this is very similar to what Kyle's doing. Before Scrapyard Wars was a thing, I had a conversation with this guy sitting right behind me right now about a month before Scrapyard Wars debuted, and we knew nothing about it. He hadn't teased it or anything. And we were sitting down, and I was like, you know what would make a really good video series? Is if I took a set amount of money, and we just had to, like, I think, what was the number I said, $500? Yeah, I was like, let's just take like $500, and let's just try and find like the deals of a lifetime, right? Let's try and maybe get something for cheap off a forum or Craigslist or like some sort of a lightning sale at Micro Center or whatever, and let's see how far we can stretch this, and let's do it documentary like vlog style, and let's just see. I think it'd be fun, and then we benchmark it and stuff, and then I was like, we could even see if like other YouTubers wanted to compete and see who could get more for their money. Fast forward 1 month later, they're like, Scrapyard Wars! And I'm like, you've got to be fucking shitting me. We're already demonetized, so I don't care. You've got to be fucking shitting me. I watched that, and I'm just like watching episode 1 going, damn it, I need to find the microphone that is hiding in this office. Because we didn't have this conversation with anyone else. It was just Nick and I. And before
there
anything...
are no original ideas left.
No, you're absolutely right. It's not like Scrapyard Wars is the original idea either, right? I mean, there was the original...
It's based on Junkyard Wars.
Junkyard Wars, exactly, where you build a car or something. So, yeah, I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I was just super bummed about that. And then I came up with this idea of PC Rescue. And then a couple weeks ago, I see Kyle's video. I was like, God damn it! When I have an idea, I'm not waiting anymore. So I don't even care if people are going to be like, that's Charlie Cobbing Bitwit's idea. Yeah, eat me. You can get multiple perspectives and some pretty fun, different, ways of doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, snooze you lose. Yeah, absolutely right.
Did you see my new fancy lazy series that I came up with? It just totally like happened in 10 minutes, and I grabbed a camera, and now I'm on episode 2.
I absolutely hate the fact that I have to admit that I watched both.
Do you like just watching the train wreck though? Like that's how the whole thing started. I was like, I know. I looked at the air conditioner box and I said, every time I do this, it never goes according to plan. Everything falls apart. I was like, I'm going to pick up that camera. I'm not going to use any other equipment, just my shitty little vlog camera, no audio, nothing, and just do this. And I thought it turned out pretty good.
It's kind of like a Two Idiots series, but without the two.
Yeah, it's literally just an idiot installing things.
So Coconut Monkey and Chris, the Red Mist owner, and I today were watching your LED installation video, right? And I looked at Chris and I was like, does it make me a bad friend that I really hope he falls off the desk?
I would expect nothing less. It's okay. I troll you hard in the Dirtfish bumper I'm going to release right after this.
That's fine. I'm all for the competition there. So.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass, man.
All right, guys. Guess what? Privatized space travel might not be the greatest of ideas.
Why? Tell us.
Because solid rocket boosters go boom.
No. Really?
Yep, the boosters go boom. Yeah, so SpaceX didn't even get off the launch pad today.
No, that's kind of a couple steps backwards, right? They got the damn things like landing on end on a moving carrier out in sea, and now they're back to square one, can't even get off the launch pad.
It's the space race of the 60s all over again. It's like Sputnik, and then our response was like, how many rockets can we blow up before we actually send one out of the atmosphere? Unless you're a flat Earth believer, then we just crash into the ceiling of the dome that we live in. But anyway.
Yeah. You know what was really weird about it though is the explosion. If you guys haven't seen the video, can you just link it afterwards down the video description so people know to
I'll
look
try
for
to
it?
remember.
Just search for
multiple
SpaceX.
explosions.
Like, it's going to be on the front page of everything. But in a nutshell, what happens is it's literally just sitting on the platform. They haven't ignited the boosters. They're still fueling the rocket. Everything looks fine. And all of a sudden, you just see a giant plume of flames pop out of like 3/4 of the way up at the thing, and then the whole thing just gets engulfed.
That was only. Like the massive explosion was only the preliminary, and then it was like ba ba boom, and then everything just exploded.
Yeah, no. When it turned into a fireball, and you were like, damn, that's bad. And then, like you said, right, there was a secondary ignition, and that was the one that like. Did you see the camera shake? Like the one that was like a mile away.
Well, it was a mile away. It was 14 seconds delay from when the explosion happened to when the camera heard it. 14 seconds.
That's way more than a mile. How far?
Way more. Oh, probably 10 miles, maybe 5 miles.
So 10 miles away, and the shockwave from the explosion of that thing still shook the camera, and you could just hear tons of noise around.
My friend is telling me it was scheduled for launch on Saturday.
So they probably weren't even fueling it. Like what? Why the hell do they have a rocket sitting on the
platform? Damn it, Bob! I told you not to smoke near the rockets.
Damn it, Jim Bob! Why did you fill it up? We weren't launching for a couple days.
Sorry, sir. Just needed my smoke.
This is weird. Wait a second. I'm confused because NASA, as I understand it, not being cosmonaut.
Wait! I'm getting insider information here. Now, my friend's telling me it was scheduled to launch Saturday.
Yep.
They were testing stuff. Were they testing how big the boom would be?
Were they testing the sound pressure levels of the microphones? Like what?
So let's say SpaceX is like, we're gonna privatize space travel and we're gonna start traveling in space and we're gonna sell seats. Do you think they were in it? Like, if you pre-ordered, do you think you're gonna get a refund?
Let's be fair though. Let's be fair. Which would you rather be on? A rocket that just blows up so hard that you get vaporized, or like being on like a 747 where the engine's cut out and you crash into the side of a cliff?
Or how about coming apart on re-entry?
I guess
re-entry?
You're gonna burn up pretty quick. I mean, I'd rather be on fire for like a couple milliseconds than like having to eat people to stay alive in the top of a mountain. I saw.
If this video were still monetized, it wouldn't be now.
Hey guys, don't worry. I'll read donations here in a little while. I finally figured out how to get them. For some reason, PayPal stopped sending me emails, so I had to go log into the console to pay it.
PayPal's like, we're not going to let him use this platform. They can't circumvent the YouTube one. Okay, let me catch up on some here, and then we'll let you do some of yours. So the Rogue Sparrow says, Jay, what are your thoughts on open air cases, such as the Thermaltake Core P5 and P3? I'm all for an open air test.
Fucking awesome.
I'm all for an open air bench or case or whatever, as long as it promotes some sort of airflow over the motherboard, which right now my Praxis doesn't, but we're working on some attachments to fix that. So,
hey, what are those test benches that I see that have the arms coming off with the fans? I see those everywhere now.
They're like flexi, like gooseneck.
Yeah, they're
arms.
like flexi arms. You can put the fans like literally anywhere you want. Those are kind of cool.
Okay, so really all that happened here was some of these companies went and bought like audio goosenecks, like you would put on a mic stand.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and then it just threads into the case with a nut, and then they just made a fan bracket that threads into the other end. So they didn't come up with that. They just made a fan bracket that uses one of those, and then they sell it as like a thing.
Application though. I mean, I honestly like that, because think about all the opportunities you'd have for like testing different airflow directions.
Oh, yeah.
Literally grab it, move it, and you're done.
And that exact type of system was exactly what I suggested to Praxis, because there was a legitimate concern on my end about there not being any airflow over the motherboard. Okay, so.
Yep.
The Rogue Sparrow donated again and said, Jerry, I'm planning on using a 55-inch curved SUHD or Super UHD TV. That's going to be an OLED 4K, I believe.
That's it. Just don't leave it on the screen. It'll burn in.
As my display. Prob expand the number. Would you use... Okay, prob expanded. I don't know what that means. Would you use 2 times GTX 1080s or 1 times Titan XP? Max budget of $1,500.
Oh, do the 2 1080s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely do the 2 1080s. If that's a 4K panel and you want to drive that thing like as hard as possible, 2 1080s is going to just waste a Titan XP by itself.
Absolutely. And then don't be worried about the 8 GB buffer. That's more than enough.
But you could buy a Titan XP and operate at slightly diminished capacity for a while and then get another Titan XP later on when you get another paycheck.
Well, max budget $1,500. So.
Okay, I guess if that's the max.
Colt O'Donnell says, I'm building a system to stream. I'm on an extreme budget. Would the A10 7860K and 16 gigabytes of RAM and an 850 Pro be good enough to stream? Well, okay, the A10 is an APU. It's not the fastest processor. It's only a quad core. No.
Let me ask you a question though, Jay. Before you give him a definitive answer, have you done anything in OBS Studio with the NVIDIA hardware encoding?
No, I do not use the NVIDIA encoder.
Is there any reason why you haven't? Because I'm wondering if you use the NVIDIA encoder, if that wouldn't take a huge stress off the CPU, and then it wouldn't matter as much.
It might be a good test, but I don't know.
Somebody please try that and let us know, because I'm curious about that myself. Like, obviously, I don't need to take strain off the CPU. I have 2 freaking Xeons in here. But I would be curious about that, because I watch all these tutorials all the time and I never see anybody using the hardware encoding, and I'm kind of wondering why.
Yeah. Matthew Lucenti says, I wanted to get both of your opinions on a CompTIA A+ certification towards getting a job, and what job types are available by getting the certification. So A+ cert is like the very entry level of trying to get into IT. That just basically says... It just basically says, I know what a memory stick looks like. I know what a printer looks like. I know how to plug this end of this colored device. I can tell you
exactly what job that's suited for, though. Like, if you want to, is as a lab engineer.
Lab engineer. And it's a very loose term, because in the IT world, they tend to put the word engineer on everything. Help desk
No, it's true. It's true. But if you don't have the word software in it, generally it doesn't mean that you're a developer. It usually means that you're working hardware or networking. or something like that. But lab engineers basically are the guys that go around the labs, rack computers, connect the computers, configure the computers. And that's a job that actually Microsoft has a lot of lab engineers, like a lot of them. But if you have an A+ certification, that moves you to the top of the pile really quick.
But it doesn't put you in position to ever advance into management or even middle management at that point.
Nope.
You can widen your prospects a little bit by getting an N+ cert on top of that, which is a networking certification. But if you really want to then go farther, you would get Cisco Certified Network Administrator, or even get your. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the path that I would pick if I were you, like in this day and age, adjusting for it, is you have your A+ certification right now. Use that to get into a job as either a lab engineer. Yeah, to get you an interview, basically. Get in the door being a lab engineer or any kind of engineer or tech, or hell, even game tester. It doesn't matter. Just use it to get a job. And then once you have a job inside of the corporation, use the corporation's resources to go seek out the other certifications.
Yeah.
Because companies like Microsoft, Google, and everything, the second that you're hired on, even as a contingent staff, they open up huge resources and budget for you guys to go learn more because they want all their employees to basically progress and grow through the company so that they don't lose them. So get in on the ground level, and then once you're inside the company, use the company's resources and time and training to get those other certifications. It's much easier than you trying to get it on your own. Guaranteed.
Right. There's also different levels of hardware certifications too that you can move up to. But yeah, an N+ would help a lot.
Too, like Cisco. Did you hear Cisco? I guess Cisco certification, like it used to be the certification to have in networking. Yeah. If you had a Cisco certification, you ran the world. Now I hear it's like not that big of a deal anymore.
Now it's Norton certification.
It's a Norton certification. No, but funny. It's like I remember a time where the Cisco certification was the single hardest certification to get in the computer industry. Like, period. It was. Like,
I want to give a shout out to probably one of the best burns anyone has given me in a long time, and you'll appreciate this.
Let's hear it.
So obviously there was a lot of fallout from the Norton ad, right? Which I expected. I will say I underestimated the level. McAfee.
Awesome.
So anyway, I did underestimate the amount of people that'd be mad about that, but I knew there was going to be upset people. That's why there was only one that was purchased. So on my latest video, how much does anti-aliasing affect FPS? Somebody responded, not as much as Norton does.
It's a good burn because it actually is a good burn. Like, it's legit.
My response to that was burn. And then he was like, LOL, I had to. And I was like, don't worry. I applied the cream to the affected areas.
You know what? I'm gonna go down in flames with you because I get the whole point of if you're an IT professional, you shouldn't have antivirus on your computer because you shouldn't be dumb enough to go to porn sites and download viruses. Yeah. But I am going to clarify right now, living in the worlds of the Windows 10 where Defender like literally is next to worthless, and there are a lot of legitimate places that you can download files that are getting taken over constantly, like Dropbox, for instance. You guys hear about that big leak? I actually am not against antivirus. I'm against antivirus running in the background all the time, but I'm not against having antivirus. I even myself use antivirus.
Yeah. Gamers Nexus did a pretty good review showing the impact of antivirus. And I think he might have seen the fallout from the Norton thing, and maybe that kind of inspired some of that video. But yeah, he sort of did a benchmark of like how much does antivirus really affect like your whole system as performance. Yeah. So he kind of did an off and an on comparison, and it was like, wow, the numbers are pretty amazing. So
without going too far into it, just as a software developer, because I used to write something called filter drivers.
This is gonna be a while.
So sorry, I got to do this really quick. So in a nutshell, when you run live antivirus, there's a difference, right? There's passive antivirus and live antivirus. Live antivirus, where it's running on your computer all the time, and it's checking every single file that you open, save, close, or otherwise manipulate. The way antivirus works, it creates something called a filter driver that sits on top of the I/O of the computer. So every time you open a file, it's literally channeling every byte of that file through that filter driver so that the software can analyze it. You can imagine how expensive that is. That's like, imagine how much CPU your computer is using when you open up a video and it has to basically translate every pixel and put it on the screen. It's not that bad, but it is. If you open huge files and you're constantly moving things around and editing things, those filter drivers stack up quick. And I remember even at Microsoft, we had a test that ran in the background of the computers to make sure that there were no filter drivers that were unknown installed on the box when we were installing all the applications to do app testing. Because if you got too many filter drivers on the same box, like if you installed 5 antivirus suites all on top of each other, which you can do, the filter drivers get so obnoxious that like literally the system will just sit at 100% CPU. They'll all fight with each other and you can't even move the mouse.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. I really do. But one of the things that Gamers Nexus tested that I would have been interested in, he tested the free bloatware. They call it, obviously it's bloatware, but the freeware that comes with the laptops.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. The preload.
That's obviously a worse offender than say purchased, but
Yeah.
still, you're right. Because I mean, you can't even fully disable Norton, and if you do, it's only for a certain length of time. But all right,
have you noticed how much better it's got though over the years? Like I remember back, like say 10 years ago, you'd go buy an HP laptop and you would boot it up, and like half the system's memory would be consumed on load just by like so much freaking borderline malware and ransomware.
So both my wife's laptop and my Asus, not my EVGA, because I do have an EVGA SC17 laptop, but my Asus JK7Y or JK whatever, I can't remember the number. Both of those have Norton on it, and I didn't really notice much. I really didn't. And on a laptop, that wasn't so bad. But I also do kind of go in and configure it on what it scans and what I don't just let it kind of go with its default settings. So I do some tweaking in there. Okay, so Dzok says your videos really tickle my fancy. Careful, sir. You're trying to get us flagged. I can feel it.
Ooh, you said tickle.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. We're fucking done monetized now. All right, Sword Dust says, guys, if you missed earlier, it'll make sense. Sword Dust says, have some money for ABP. What's Coconut Monkey playing? We already said he's playing the game. What is it? Armello.
Dude, nobody wants to hear about Armello.
Yeah, stop
Dude,
giving
I
them
just
free
got a
plugs.
donation. Hey, I gotta stop you because I just got a crazy donation.
Oh, is it like a penny?
I just got a $150 donation.
Again? They know you're poor people.
From a guy named Daniel. Ooh. And I'm not going to read last names this time because last time that got me in trouble.
Yeah, he was like, don't read my name, and you're like, blah 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 says, don't read my name. Oh crap.
he said, thanks for the videos. I've always wondered, if regular people could sponsor videos. I'll get Jay next time. Your tube ain't working on my phone, or YouTube isn't working on his phone.
Yeah.
So he asked, I mean, can an individual sponsor a video? I absolutely see no reason why not.
I've had plenty of people approach me about that. I personally don't get involved with any sort of Kickstarter, crowdsource funding campaigns.
Oh yeah, within reason. But let's just say somebody just wanted to
promote their channel. Channel. I don't do that because let me tell you what's going to happen is a bajillion people are going to then come at you when they see you do it once, and guys,
not if you charge $5,000.
Well, that's the next thing I was just about to say. Is you understand that there becomes a point where there's value to the amount of people that you can reach, and it grows with your channel. And most people who would come at me and be like, "Hey, I want to promote my channel. How much is it going to cost?" The charitable side of you says, "Okay, I'll do it for I'll just do it for a fraction. We'll do it for $500, right?"
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, $500? What the hell? You're crazy. I want to pay you like $50. And and the charitable side of you wants to go, okay, fine. We'll come up with some crazy low number like that. Yep. But then that's literally money out of the business. It's money out of the business pockets. It's money out of my family's pockets. It's money out of my investments and my future to do that. So that's why and I've been approached many times by people wanting me to promote their small business or their whatever. And I do unfortunately turn that down.
I can see that point. So my answer to that question, Daniel, is $5,000. That's my price. I'll do it for $5,000.
That's Jerry's baseline.
Or I'll just mention it for $150 on TikTok.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Or $5. Daniel would have cost you $5. I'm just saying, you kind of overpaid a little. I'm going to give you advice for the other $150.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't mean you get like 30 more either. So
yeah. No, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do.
He saw your DIYs and he's like, damn, this guy needs some money.
He's like, this guy's poor. He's ripping the drywall off his ceiling. Did you see it, man? I did. I facepalmed. So you know the best part of that video was when I was editing it because I didn't even. How sometimes you record stuff and you don't realize what you said, like you don't remember it. And I'm sitting here editing, and when I look over at the screen, and I'm like, hey, look, there's no glare, and then there's a huge glare in the middle of the screen.
I saw that.
Shit.
That finger. You're like, God damn it.
So mad, dude.
I was so mad. The little graphic. All right, so Pub Shepherd says, love your AA ep. Oh, what? I even submitted benchmarks. Oh,
Oh,
my
look.
EAA episode. I see. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
My latest video, yeah. I even made a video on the benchmarks. Awesome, dude. Yeah, not enough people submitted information, like their results, which I was hoping, because I kind of wanted that big, like, data mining of my viewers doing the same tests so that we can kind of get a big collective of data. But, like, nobody really did it. People just kind of focused on whatever little piece of information they got stuck on and then didn't go forward. Tommy Miller says, Ethan from H3H3 Productions made a pretty good observation. The YouTube demonetization spree seems to all come from the tags and description of videos, not so much the content itself. Yeah, that's the first thing that scans.
Also. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what scans pretty much right away. So don't put, Syrian boy covered in blood in your tag like CNN did.
Yeah, Becky Boop did a video on that too. Where I like watching. She's kind of a smaller channel, but she does news, and she mostly like reports on all the she reports on the drama reporting drama. Anyway, she's a cool person, and she reported on it. She actually did a really objective, unbiased view of it, and
Right.
I liked that at the very end. She's basically like, "Oh, this is all based on your information and your tags and stuff like that." The video itself is still kind of a black box to some extent, so just don't put a bunch of blatant tags all over your video. They're like rape, nudity, boobs, curse words. Don't put those in your tags, because that's going to be the first thing that obviously they're looking for. That's the low hanging.
Jep Orox says the explosion reason is still unknown. The payload was matted and is destroyed, and this was only operational pad on the East Coast, so it's a big blow. Yeah, because ever since NASA shut things down, Cape Canaveral is where they were, right?
I was going to say that pad probably didn't fare very well from that.
Dude, did you see it? It was completely charred and blackened, obviously.
Yeah,
he says the
that was
payload
weird.
was destroyed. I kind of want to say that's a duh moment. Definitely it was destroyed. Kind of goes without saying there.
What was the payload? Was it like taking something to ISS, or
It was probably a bunch of monkeys going to, see how they can do math in space.
was it a shipment of sea manatees to like keep them living in space? I don't know.
Sledgehammer says, Jerry, what program languages did you learn growing up and while at Microsoft, and what was most beneficial?
So I started with Apple Basic, moved to Quick Basic, GW Basic, Turbo Pascal, Borland C, Borland C++, and then I moved into the Visual Studio world with C Sharp, and then most of the time I did C Sharp, and then I did some segues off into scripting with like JScript, a little bit of PHP, some VB, but I hate VB with a passion. I'm sorry, all VB developers. But out of all that stuff that I learned, I would say the most important language was probably C Sharp, because it allowed me to do the most in the smallest amount of time, and it allowed me to work with other people easier. But and now it's cross-platform, so it's actually a highly accepted language amongst all the platforms. But if you want to learn one language that you think is the most beneficial, that's going to get you best aligned for other languages, learn something like Java or C Sharp, because they're object-oriented languages, which is what most languages are when you're working in a group setting. You're not creating like low-level code like drivers and stuff like that.
Jerry.
Yeah.
The audience is telling us what the payload is, and now I don't feel as bad. It was a Facebook satellite. Why does Facebook need a satellite?
What more do they?
So it sucks that launch pad got effed up, but I don't feel so bad now that Facebook can't now spy on you GPS wise. I don't know. Maybe they already can. Maybe it's just like their 14th satellite. I don't know.
It was like the like satellite. It's just up in orbit, big giant floating thumb.
It's a giant advertisement. It's a giant ad. Hobbs said in chat that
Sure it wasn't sabotage? You see a Twitter vinyl in the wreckage. That'd be awesome.
So Hobbs says that Dave from Eve Blog had a video demonetized because it was episode number 911.
Okay.
I don't know, is 911 trigger or something?
Like I guess that's 9/11 if you put a slash in there.
Oh,
But,
I guess, yeah. All right.
but still, that's really reaching.
Jared Zarnakel says, hey guys, just wanted to suggest on a lower budget mic. Want a suggestion on a lower budget mic. Let's have a nice day. Love you. It helps if you give a price, because what one person may think is a lower budget, like my Audio-Technica AT2035. This is considered low budget. It was $150. But $150 to someone just starting out on YouTube and is in high school, they're like, that's not low budget. But in terms of broadcast, this is like pick and save level, if you want to talk about mic quality and cost. So
yeah, it's too big of a question, but honestly, for price versus performance for like a first microphone,
2020
and versatility, no, mod mic. Get a mod mic.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
The
Stay away
mod
from
mic.
stay away from things like the Blue Snowball. A lot of people use the Blue Snowball. Personally, to me, it sounds very tinny. And it's a USB mic.
I see. That's the thing is, I kind of sort of. Well, yeah, you're right. It doesn't have the bass low end. It does, but it has a pretty natural sound. I mean, I know a lot of voice actors that actually use like Blue Snowballs with a laptop to record stuff.
Interesting. Every Blue Snowball recording I've ever heard, I thought had a very kind of a tinny reverb into it.
You can do better for the money though, because isn't the Blue Snowball over $100?
No, it's like 60.
For $60, it's not that bad. They're ugly though. I think they're one of the dumbest.
They look like a ball.
Literally. So I like
that one
Audio Technica stuff though. I think Jay, you'd agree. Audio Technica is actually pretty good bang.
I do love Audio Technica.
Or you can buy the Razer one that's like 4 times more expensive than all the rest.
Especially the 4053B shotgun hypercardioid mic, like that trailer I played earlier. The audio from that is the shotgun mic.
No, I'll agree. That thing has great pickup. I remember when we did the video when I was down there. I was like, wow, that thing sounds great.
Okay, Charlie Boy Games says, hey, I'm looking to get into game design. What is a good GPU to do that? No Titan XP. Any graphics card. Take it. If you want to do game design, take any graphics card. And if you want to be a good game designer, you will
just assume that when you're a game designer, just starting out, that you're going to write the loosest, crappiest, just shittiest code ever in the beginning. So it's probably better that you go with a higher end GPU. Now, if you're doing 2D stuff, if you're just doing like 2D based side-scrolling indie games and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. You could literally.
I was gonna say practice optimizing for whatever card you have.
There you go. That's actually a good idea. I don't disagree with that.
Casual Gamer says, hi Jay and Jerry from the UK. First time live. Love your shows.
What's up, Book?
And inspire me with my tech company to keep me going through a tough time. Well, I hope things get better. We all find different forms of inspiration. So if you work in IT, just assume that every couple of years you're going to get screwed and you're going to need to unscrew yourself. Yeah. All right, so it's 6:10. That was the last one I have for now. So why don't you go ahead and read some of yours? And,
all right, well, we're going to start off with Mr. Jimmy L, who said, hello from Sweden. It's the middle of the night there. Awesome. What's the cheapest computer hardware to play easier games like CSGO and so on? Have a good time. Jimmy. CSGO has like super duper 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 low requirements. You could probably find a computer in the bargain bin of like your like Salvation Army that can play that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a hard question. But I mean, honestly, you could what is it? The APU systems, right? Build a cheap little AMD APU system. Don't even worry about a graphics card. It's already there, and you're done.
Oh, I need to say something real quick. There was one last donation here that came in. Chaos X Killer asked if I ever rode in that still in Supercharged Z. If so, what did I think? Nope, because I dropped the idea of boosting it now that it's going to be going back on the track. The car already has enough cooling issues with naturally aspiration with a lot of the shortcomings on Nissan. So I don't want to add boost to it. Jerry,
sad that I had to hear about that on here.
But if you get on the track with me, you'll understand that there's no lack thereof. Also, guys, it's 6:11. I told Hobbs to cut off the donation document at 6:10. I've got to be out of here on the dot at 6:30. So, I apologize if the donations are still coming in, but we have to cut it off or we'll be here all night reading them. Trust me, that's saying it sucks to be like, guys, stop spending or sending money.
Stop giving us your money. No, I in the same thing. I have to get out of here because I have to start packing because I'm heading to PAX West. I'll be there all 4 days.
He's got to go like 20 miles, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually staying. I know it's not far. It's not far away, but I'm staying in town just so I can walk everywhere and I can do all the after parties and stuff and not deal with traffic. But so if you guys are at PAX West, definitely keep an eye on my Twitter feed. I'm going to be mentioning like pretty much everywhere where I'm at the whole 4 days, so that you guys can come and hang out and be all awkward and stuff around me.
Tickle his belly.
Just tickle my belly. Somebody's going to do that now. I just know it. Eric T said, hey, Jay and Jerry, I have an i5 4590 and a Z97 motherboard. Bought the motherboard when I built my PC to upgrade to an i7 4790K at some point. But with the newer platform, I'm unsure. Should I upgrade to the 4790K or overhaul my whole system to Skylake? I mainly game and a good bit of Twitch streaming. Honestly, Z97 is still not bad. I mean, I would still focus on the GPU in that situation. What would you say?
I think a lot of people who are unfamiliar with hardware or have really not been able to experience side by side get caught up in that whole like, crap, I need the newest one.
Yeah.
Your cost is going to go up exponentially by going to Z104 because you're going to have to get DDR4 memory. And although I digress. It does support. I did that while you were taking a drink, and Nick laughed over there too. It does support DDR3 as well, but it would be really dumb, in my opinion, to get a Skylake CPU and not run DDR4 on it because that's one of the biggest upgrades that happened over Z97. But a Z97 system and gaming is more than adequate. It's more than adequate, and even your i5 is, to be honest. Unless you're playing games
I mean,
like
if you
DayZ
really
and-
wanted to, I could see if he's live streaming using OBS or something like that, not a capture card. I could see him upgrading the CPU to like the 4790, but not overhauling everything. I'd put that money into a GPU before I did that.
Yeah, I feel bad for people that honestly think like they have to have the latest. It kind of
Dude, I still have an i9. What is that? An i960, the first generation. What was that?
i7.
Was it Ivy Bridge or
No.
What was the first one? I can't remember.
That's pre Sandy Bridge.
Yes, this is before. This is one generation before Sandy Bridge.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember the generation name for that. Or
And I run it.
Code name.
Yeah, it's a 2.4 that I run at 4.3.
Yeah.
And the damn thing still screams. I mean, for as long as you have a good GPU in it, it's awesome. So,
when I say I digress, everyone loses their shit. I love it.
I know you should make a shirt, dude. Just make a shirt that's just I digress, nothing else. Plain white text, plainest font ever. You'll sell 1 million of them. Let's see. Mark R said, "Hey guys, I love both y'all's channel," and he really said y'all's. I'm a really huge fan, so I have a question for Jay.
Oh,
I can play. Let's see. I can't pay to Jay's link for some. Don't worry about it. It's cool. I'll take his money.
It's YouTube's.
I'm saving up on a gaming and editing rig. Let's see. I'm for sure going for the GTX 1060, but I'm debating on 2 CPUs: an i5 6600 or an i7 6700 non-K. Can you explain the benefits and disadvantages to both CPUs?
Which are the two again? I missed the first one.
So he went i5 6600 versus the 6700 non-K i7.
Okay, so the 6500 is basically just going to be essentially the i5 version of a 6700 non-K. The K just means unlocked multiplier, so you can overclock it.
Do they have the same number of cores, or does the i7 have more?
Well, the i7 has hyperthreading, so it's the same number of cores. It just has hyperthreading.
So that answers the question for me right there. If it's going to be an editing rig, more cores is huge.
Get the hyperthreading, more logical cores in that case.
Yeah, because when I run like Adobe Premiere and I'm rendering and stuff like that, even in Sony Vegas, like even with the GPU stuff enabled and everything, the CPUs get hammered at nearly 100%.
You guys can't make fun of me for the way I say things when he says Vegas.
They just say Vegas.
Sony Vegas.
It's a Vegas. Benjamin B said, "Oh, go ahead."
Hob said that code name was Nehalem. Nehalem. I can never pronounce it. Nehalem.
Oh yeah, no, I do remember that.
I just could never pronounce it. It was always weird.
Nehalem.
Yeah. Costa Rica. Anyway.
So Benjamin B said, "Jerry, loving the recent videos. I know the DIY gasm thing was such a fluke. Isn't it weird how just the stuff you do, you put zero effort into somehow is what everybody wants to see? Why do we even try?"
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jerry, loving the recent videos. Looking good with the weight loss. Thank you. I am down 24 pounds right now. Keep it up.
That's one
let's
chin.
see. I know, right?
I love
also,
you,
thanks
Jerry.
for getting on the folding at home thing.
Yeah,
I know. The folding. Hey, dude, we're already in the top 250 in the world. Top 200.
I didn't know that I even had an unofficial ranked team until that email came in.
Dude, I was laughing when you're like, dude, I don't even have a folding at home team. And then I go to your forums and you actually do. It's like, it's just, you didn't create it, but you have one.
It's the unofficial, but yeah.
He said, Jay, get your followers on it. Jay, I hate your guts. You're the reason I have water cooled my PC. I know. Jay has misguided a lot of people down the path of water cooling. Kidding, of course, water cooling, all the things. Thanks for the videos also. Let's see. Love it when you both have a laugh in your videos. Take my British Monopoly money. Here you go. Thank you so much. Let's see. We have Fat Heine. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. PhatHuynh. I know I wasn't going to say last names, but still, I don't. What is that? Hein?
Does it matter?
I don't know.
I think they know who they are.
His first name's Fat though, Phat, so he's badass.
Ooh.
Me again. My name is Fat Win. Oh, Win. It's Win.
Fat. No, I don't know.
Oh, who? Whoa.
I don't know.
Why?
Phat is pronounced Pung.
I
really don't know.
A lesson in how to pronounce his name. So it's Fat. So it's Fat Win. Who? Why? He's half Vietnamese.
I feel like this is one of those. I am sofa king.
I know,
right?
I just see the name and I immediately think I'm getting trolled. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
How the hell do you pronounce this? Nguyen. Nguyen?
When?
When
we had a whole topic about that.
When? Oh, we did. I do. That was a long time ago. I remember that.
Yeah, it's Vietnamese.
Contrary to popular belief, it was easier for the Americans to say the way. Jay, coming from a plain MSI X99A SLI board and want to go to an X99 Sabertooth. Good board, looks good, and feature packed. Like, who just upgrades their motherboard?
He came from a what? An X99 what?
Yeah, he wants to. He's coming from a plain MSI X99A SLI board, and he wants to go to an X99 Sabertooth.
Okay, so with the Asus, you're gonna gain some better fan control. There's the Sabertooth has a pretty beefy socket, tons of gold material in there.
That's
Asus
a
also,
upgrade though, just for
yeah,
Just for,
Asus also has the extra pins in there in the socket, which is supposed to help with the overclocking, but that's been kind of up for debate. I think it's kind of money wasted to do that, in my opinion.
So too. I wouldn't do it.
Most of the time, anything that you think your motherboard is shorting you on, you can find some sort of aftermarket solution anyway, if it be fan control or whatever. If you're not running a ton of graphics cards that aren't supported on your motherboard, I think there's other money you could place that.
I just got another donation from a cool name, but he puts right in the comment, "Call me Dan." Like,
Call me
don't
Dan.
even try to pronounce it. Just call me Dan.
10 minutes. We
keep
got
up
10
the
minutes left in
DIY.
the show.
Yep. Okay, keep up the DIY gasms. I plan to, because that series is ridiculous easy to shoot and it's fun.
Someone thinks that I'm
Kyle, he said-
someone thinks I dye my hair. Yeah, because I leave that one intentional gray spot right there on purpose, right? That spot right there.
Get defensive about your hair dyeing. It's like
No,
Richard
not
Hammond's
offense.
teeth white.
Okay, so people get confused because if I don't put hair gel in my hair, it's very silvery, very salt and pepper. When I put hair gel in, it darkens up a lot, like you see right now. I have hair gel in because we were recording all day.
Just keep growing this, Jay. Keep growing that. It'll take all the attention
no, here's the
off
thing.
that.
Here's the thing, right here, right? I know you can't see Jerry in live, but right here on my beard is all gray. So if I grow this out, I might immediately age myself 10 more years, and then
I gotta see it.
and then I'm gonna lose my connection with the younger crowd.
Jake,
they'll
can
be
you
like,
please just at least
Santa!
till October? Can you just do it till October? Because I think you and rally cars with a beard would be epic.
You want me to keep growing till October?
Just keep growing it till October. Just do it.
And this is about 5 days. Right
Trim
here.
it. Just trim it and stuff, and like keep it managed. But man, you got to do the lumberjack theme.
My dad had a beard when I was growing up, a big, thick beard, and I couldn't grow one. Like right here where the goatee is would grow, but the sides, nothing would grow. I got lazy.
Jealous of people that can do it. Like
I got-
cannot grow facial hair.
Okay, so I got lazy and just was like, I'm gonna just do my neck for today. And then I got like the amount of comments were like, "Oh my God, Jay's growing a beard. It looks great." I'm like, "Wow, you
think
guys
it
really like the beard." So I don't know.
Slightly.
We'll just see. We'll just see. I asked the wife. Of course, I had to check with the wife, right? And she was like, "I don't know, whatever, grow the beard." And of course, Coconut Monkey was like, "Grow the beard." So what is? I don't understand people's obsession with beards. It's in the
Just
itchy
grow-
stage right now. It's super itchy.
Because I don't have one, Jay. I can't grow one. That's my obsession. I don't know everybody else's, but I can't grow one.
It's
so.
because your face looks like a baby's butt.
You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to talk Houston at Puget Systems. You know his big manly
Yeah,
beard.
he's a huge one.
For Movember, I want him to do the Movember grow a stash with me. So I'm trying to get him to shave off his whole beard so he can transplant it onto me in a video for like charity.
He should shave just his upper lip.
That would damn funny. Look like super Amish. Let's see.
All right, finish
Mikhail said, missed last week's. Love your channel. Let's see here. Much better than the other guy's joke. I'll give Jay some love too. Oh my God, I love it when people do that. It's like, I hate Jay. Oh, whoa, check this out. So Mike S said, hey there from Kitsap. Kitsap County is where I grew up.
Uh-huh.
Just saying thanks for making cool vids. Going to PAX this weekend. Yes, Mike, I will be at PAX. If you find me, you can come right on over. I don't care what I'm doing. You guys see me at PAX, come say hi.
Are you going themed in any way or with any company or?
No, this is completely just me. I do have an agenda for the first time ever, and I'm going to be on a panel.
What?
But other than that, I'm just cruising. Just cruising. That's all I'm doing. And I don't have a cameraman this year, so I'm literally solo. So if you guys like grab me and kidnap me and try to harvest my kidneys, I don't have Graham to protect me.
Nick, someone saw you die back there and they said, "Get wrecked, Coconut Monkey." They're probably playing.
Andy C said, awesome show. Love the DIY gasm. Yeah, that got really crazy response. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop trying to understand things and just do them.
Guys, he's playing bots on hard or whatever right now because he can't jump on the internet right now while I'm streaming. So.
Oh, don't even try to justify it. You know he just sucks at it. Zach W said, on the subject of SpaceX, to be fair, it literally is rocket science.
Yeah, it makes it kind of like hard. You have to have at least a 4-year degree.
If I was a rocket scientist, though, like let's be honest. If I was a rocket scientist, the thing that would probably embarrass me the most would be the rocket just exploding when we're not really doing anything with it.
You're all
just sitting pad, just
like you're there in mission control, right? And you're kind of overseeing things, and then it blows up. Everyone turns around. Suddenly, it's like, "Where's Jerry?"
Yeah.
Where'd
Literally,
Jerry go?
literally the only thing more embarrassing than that would be the truck taking the rocket out to the launch pad, like bumping into a curb, and the rocket like falls off and rolls down the block. Like that would be the only thing like more embarrassing. Pup hit me up. So Pup Shepherd said, I love the iron sword in the background of your latest video. Oh, yeah, up on the wall there. Let's see, the LED lights on
Little
the ceiling.
Jay has
Plus-
a diamond one.
Oh, he made his first benchmark video.
Awesome.
So, yeah, so what is it? Tyler Tech Tips. Go check out Tyler Tip. It's like
Wonder how
Linus
he came
Tech
up with,
Tips
wonder how
Tyler.
he came up with that name.
Yeah, I don't have no idea.
That's a 3 million sub idea.
So go check out Pup Shepherd. We like Pup. Pup's always around lurking. And then the last one that I'm going to cut off with is, let's see, Matt's. His first name's Matt's.
Ooh.
G. And he said, if you have to choose, would you get a DJI Osmo or an HTC Vive?
Oh,
Ooh,
Vive,
completely
hands
different
down.
ends of the spectrum, but the Vive, hands down. Because, like, the Osmo's
Osmo-
cool, but the Vive is, like, life.
The Osmo's cool, and I've used it. I bought yours, right? And I've used it a couple times, right? Like literally, I've used it a couple times, and it's kind of like
a specialized thing,
this
isn't it?
is
Like
fun, and this is neat. But the Vive is like you get so much value out of the Vive if you
You know what I figured out though? You know what I figured out about the Osmo is don't put your camera on it. Don't put your phone on it. Just set it up, leave your phone in your pocket, and literally just aim it in the general direction of what you want to record. Because then you'll start using it a lot more, and it's a lot quicker to turn on, turn off, and everything like that. Because I saw I went to a party where a guy was just rolling around with one, and he didn't have his phone on it or anything. And I saw that video after he was done, and it was epic. So
yeah, well, it's such a wide angle. It's such a wide angle. As long as you point it in the general direction, then.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is I think the phone, just the lag and the software and all the problems with it, all are in the phone in the app. If you just hit record and stop record and just use it for picking up things throughout the day, it's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
So we are at 6:25. We have 5 more minutes, Jay.
Yeah, we do. I don't know what to talk about.
Oh wait, I didn't hit refresh on PayPal. Let's see if there's any more donations here.
$8,000 more dollars. See, guys. See, look. If everyone right now just donated $5. If everybody just donated $5 every week, like, don't worry about watching the videos or anything. If it's just like, I got $5, I got $20 a month that we can help out our favorite YouTubers. YouTube can just fuck off with their whole unmonetization thing. Because I mean, imagine the power of the audience, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not suggesting people actually like do this, right? I mean, I'm. You
guys can do it for me if Jay doesn't want you to.
I'm being facetious, but imagine it. Imagine if suddenly the audience was just like, you know what, we're gonna support our favorite YouTubers directly, like the donations that's happening here through YouTube or the PayPal or whatever. Then YouTube literally loses power at that point.
Dude, if everybody donated $5 that was watching right now every week when we did a show, that would be $44,000 a month. I could live on that.
Jeez. Yeah, you say that, and everyone's gonna be like, they don't need all that. So, okay,
I'm cool with $1.50 even.
Rink Tech asked in chat, what's going on with Tech Syndicate, Jay? Look, everyone involved in that scenario has made some sort of a public statement, and you guys will just have to go read their public statements. This Tech Talk is not for. Tech Talk's for a lot of things that are probably questionable, but we're not
friends with all these people though. So
we are friends with all these people, and it sucks for all of us to watch the way all of that has been going down. There was a big shakeup inside the organization, and look, I like Wendell, I like Logan, I like Kane. I'm not going to even comment on it because it's touchy.
It's a tough situation.
It's a tough situation, and like I said, all of them, Wendell, Kane, Logan, have made public statements about it. So my best suggestion to you, if you want to know what's going on, go to the forums, because the forums are back up, and read their Twitters. That's it. I mean, then you
if you like the stuff that they all produce, and I'm talking all of them, not just like one person or the other, then just kind of respect their privacy in this whole thing and let them work.
And try not to pick a side.
Don't do that. Yeah, Jay and I don't like that either when you guys pick sides. I know you might think it sounds cool to be like, oh, I like you better than Jay. But it actually doesn't. It kind of hurts me because it's like Jay's like family to me, you know.
I don't, and even people I don't particularly talk to very often, like Jay, I love your stuff way more than Linus. It makes me feel bad because I know Linus. I know he's got his family and his kids, and he's got a lot of people that depend on his success. So you don't have to dislike someone to like me, and vice versa. It doesn't have to be that way. And I hate. I mean, there's fanboyism. There's fanboyism everywhere, right? Cars and GPUs and cameras. It doesn't matter. Phones. You don't need to be a fanboy for YouTubers. Just
to support who you like. You don't have to, basically diminish somebody else. Like you don't have to tear them down.
Yeah.
Tearing
someone down doesn't build someone else up.
So we have 2 minutes left. There's no way I can get through because a bunch of people just came in like in the last minute. So I'm just gonna read some names. Okay.
Okay.
The Ministry of Doing Things, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Matthew W, thank you. Scott W, thank you. Stephen K, thank you. Luke B, thank you. Zachary C, thank you very much. Alec, thank you. Saxton W, thank you. And Rob D, thank you. And I will go through and read all your comments after we go offline, because unfortunately when Jay shuts it down, I can't do anything. So
yeah, and I know there were some more that came in after I had it cut off, because mine cut off at 6:10 because I have to be out of here. I've got something to take my daughter to. But I will answer this one here. Chris Barr says DSR, which is dynamic super resolution, if you guys don't know, versus anti-aliasing, which is better, and how taxing is DSR compared to AA? Next vid.
I've never even heard of DSR. This is new to me.
DSR was something that launched with NVIDIA last generation, and AMD has a version of it now as well. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but basically what it is it takes an image and it fakes a resolution higher than your native resolution. So it can force like 10K resolution on a 1080p panel, for example. So it's a fake way of shoving all these pixels down into that size, right, and then remastering it for 1080. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to be another way of getting rid of like jaggies and stuff like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They're creating like a fake frame buffer, blowing it up that resolution, and then shrinking it back down. And in that process, somehow it smooths things out.
Pretty much. But the
Seems
thing is,
a very expensive way to go about it.
you know, and he asked if it would be a next video where I compare anti-aliasing for smoothing out jaggies versus dynamic super resolution. You know what I would be more inclined to do on a video rather than comparing those two is DSR versus native. DSR in 4K versus native 4K. Is there a bigger impact on a GPU to do DSR versus just plugging in a 4K monitor? That's the kind of video I would do.
That'd be the more real world thing, though.
Yeah, because you can DSR 1440. You can DSR almost any resolution, but up to 4K.
What's the point? Yeah, what's the point of DSRing 4K to 1080 if you have a 4K panel and they both run the same? So I'd like to see that benchmark.
But I would definitely like to see. What I would do is I would take a 1080p panel, DSR to 4K, with say a 1080.
Okay.
Then take that same 1080 and put a real 4K monitor on there and no DSR, and see if the results are comparative. Was it harder on the GPU to run a native 4K or DSR 4K?
Interesting. Yeah.
That's what I
can see the use in that.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's time to go. If you missed the trailer for the video, I know I'm really plugging this, but I'm excited about this because I'm getting to be creative, and I've been.
This is our job, Jay. This is our job.
Well,
wear it, buddy.
I've been talking a lot with Austin Evans actually, and he made some pretty good points. He's like, man, the guy who doesn't change gets left behind, and so I am trying to. I always have ideas, but I squash a lot of them because I'm like, oh, I'm afraid of what the audience might think, right? Well, I need to squash that idea. So I've got a new series coming out called PC Rescue, just like Bitwit, obviously, as everyone wants to point out, where I'm helping people overcome issues with their computers and stuff. So I've got a little teaser here for episode 1, which is coming out tomorrow. Look for that. I'm going to play it again for the people who came in late, and then with that, we'll roll the trailer or the outro. Stop getting closer to your screen. You're scaring me. Stop it.
And while you're rolling the outro, I'll tell you guys about the video that's coming out right after this. Go.
All right, so here's the trailer for PC Rescue.
Push the button.
My name's Chris, and I'm the owner of Red Mist. I just received Red Mist Part 2. It kind of inspired me to finally start to try this on my own. I have a friend, Lindsay, and she has a build that also was put together by Jay. It was the AMD water cooling build. She needs an upgrade. She wanted to upgrade it to an Intel platform. So I decided this time I want to do it. And I might have run into some problems.
I like how during that whole trailer, all you can hear is Coconut Monkey back there. Click, 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 click,
Oh, was that him?
click, 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 click. Because he's like banging on that keyboard while he's playing. Ay.
All right, roll that outro.
I thought you wanted to talk about a video real quick.
Well, I'm going to do it while you're rolling the outro.
Oh, okay. Well, the outro's going.
There you go. So, guys, wait about a half an hour. There will be a video up on barnnerd.com or Barnacles Nerdgasm, however you get there, talking about our Dirtfish experience. Jay and I are going head-to-head in rally cars off-road. Don't miss it.
Vroom, vroom, bitches.
Bitches. Flag.
Oh, wait. How do you turn this off again? Oh, there it is. I found the button. Bye!
Bye!